Hey there. Yes, this is another unpopular opinion video, but no, it's not gonna be a recap on the issues people keep talking about over and over again. I am sorry, but what you'll argue about are edgy opinions that are already popular in Stan Twitter and Instagram because people love to talk shit about every idol nowadays. There you go. This was a cheap unpopular opinion. But anyways, let's get into this. 1. K-pop. It's not about music. I know people are gonna come for me, but it had to be said. K-pop is an entertainment industry and it has many branches. Music just happens to be one of them. And sometimes it's not even the most important. At least this is how it works nowadays. With a fully developed digital society. Don't try to deny there's people standing idols or groups without really digging their songs. How many times have you all heard something like, "Oh, I'm not feeling the song but it will grow up on me"? It's not a bad thing. It's just how it is. Because idols give us far more content than just music. There's no industry in the world doing fan service like they do it in Korea. And not forget, idols are well trained into acting. Companies know crystal clear how to grab people's attention and make them stay. Because they're the best, along with J-pop, at making the fans feel valuable. Like they are part of something deep, personal, meaningful and bigger. Ultimately, this is related to the fact of K-pop companies having their part in lots of entertainment markets. And that's why idols are literally everywhere. It's not about music, it's about entertainment. 2. K-pop is about money. K-pop industry is one of the best examples of perfect capitalism around the world. I remember getting into K-pop and coming across people buying more than one copy of one of their favs albums. And then finding out there's people actually buying 10, 20, even 50. You'll realize how crazy that is? No wonder the physical format is still strong in Korea. I know it is supposed to help your favs get wins, and to get into fansins and all these stuff, but at the end, they're just good at making money. And there's also the ridiculous merchandising, special events, subscriptions to exclusive content, memberships, and people actually spend the money. LMAO, be clever than that please. 3. There's nothing wrong with not liking a song. As I said before, I've seen lots of people saying things like, "Oh, I don't like this song now but I'm gonna hear it some more so it can grow on me," or "I hated it at first but now is fire." And when I say lots of people, I mean lots. But look, there's nothing wrong with not liking your fav's latest release. And you don't need to force yourself into listening to it until it becomes somehow bearable just because Oppo wants me to stream, because it's literally embarrassing. Lucky for us, K-pop gives us much more content to enjoy. And maybe y'all can find a way to appreciate a song beyond how it sounds. The story behind it, the production, the concept, the storytelling within the group's concept, or just pass. 4. Fiction is one of the best aspects of K-pop. While Western media and influencers overhype artists for pulling off the bare minimum when it comes to concepts, K-pop groups gives us high quality fantasies over and over again. Rookie or senior groups, no one does it like K-pop. I know some people actually don't like the fact that K-pop relies so strongly on their concepts, but for me it is part of the show. Another thing would be groups and companies swinging from concept to concept without coherency, but that's another topic. Honestly, I feed for the fiction K-pop gives me. These so well-planned fantasies with deeper meanings, symbolisms, illusions, the dramatics, colors, imaginary, aesthetics. It's always so inspiring. It doesn't need to be about some deep topic or social issue. I am here to appreciate well-rounded cultural products. 5. Lots of concepts don't make sense. As I've said, fiction is important, but it needs to be cohesive with what the group is all about. I feel that's what happens with lots of groups that end up disbanding. They pull off recycled concepts that are trendy or worked well for others and swing from idea to idea without actually building their personality. No matter how good of a storyteller you are, you need to be original. 6. BTS's fiction is better than their music. In my opinion, BTS has the best storytelling and concept development among active groups, and Love Yourself era is the best example. Beware, I am talking about fiction, not just concepts. I believe VIXX excels when it comes to concept development, but they lack continuity from comeback to comeback, which BTS do have. At the same time, with the best storytelling came the most bland and uninteresting music releases. There are some cute songs here and there, but they could have been produced for any other pop group. It is interesting though, how their lyrics and concepts can form ly arc. So I enjoy reading about them without actually listening to them, which is not an easy thing to achieve. Wings was the perfect balance between music and fiction, but the way they changed the original story for the repackage album infuriated me. Demian has been my favorite book since forever, and I felt like it went all to Wasta. I believe Luna has the potential to develop a world that actually goes beyond what BTS has done till today. They don't have big hit human and economic resources, but without them BBC is doing pretty well already. 7. The big three are the worst at producing fiction, but the best at producing money. They lack coherent storylines, and sometimes concept changes seem forced, but we already used to that. SM for example, they are extremely unorganized, clumsy, and drop random shit out of nowhere. They are lucky they have the most perfect idols out there. They pull off any shit they give them and excel at it. They are the best vocally trained from the big three, and also the best at acting, which makes them the perfect weapon on stage. 8. SM groups can get boring. I know I just said they are the most perfect idols, but this perfection can get monotonous and make them predictable. You already know what's gonna happen in every performance, every gesture, every move, every gaze. I like to see my favs have fun on stage, make their experience unique. They tend to not interact with the audience while performing, and that's the only thing that gets between them and major success. And you can see how tiring it is also for them. This doesn't happen as strongly with YG or JYP groups. 9. Mamamoo and BTS are the best groups on stage. They are always unpredictable. I never know what to expect from them. Even in music shows where every detail is usually scripted to perfection, they don't follow the trends and refuse to give the same performance over and over again while always making their audience participate. Every group has talented idols, with vocals, dance and presence, but they need to look at the public, not to the ground, have fun, interact with people and other members beyond what's in the original choreo. EXID also does a very good job, but unfortunately they don't have opportunities and their company don't invest in performance production. Same thing can be said about Dreamcatcher. BITE and RBW make clever choices when it comes to medleys, remixes or new arrangements with live band, which I really don't understand why SM doesn't do often when they have the best composers of the entire industry. 10. Dreamcatcher have the most stable performances. It is true that Mamamoo is the best well-rounded vocal group. It's easier when you have only 4 members. There are also vocalists such as Seulgi, Hirin, Wendy, Chen, Doyoung, Taeyeon, Yoonji, Yuju, that stand out in their groups. But Dreamcatcher not only has well-rounded vocal members, but they manage to sound like a freaking CD while dancing the most powerful chorus out of girl groups nowadays. G-Friend come pretty close, but I feel like their vocal line is way more irregular and always make room for the vocals in the chorus to not get into too much trouble. There's also a big difference between the skills of their main vocalist and the rest of the members, whereas in Dreamcatcher Seayeon, the main vocalist, and Yoo Hyun, their lead, are almost at the same level, with Bora and Minji not that far from them, along with Handong, Gahyun and Dami, this last one also being one of the strongest third-generation rappers. It infuriates me when people don't mention Dreamcatcher in their best vocals list or give them last place when they have been eating CDS since their debut. Let me show you.
못하게 해 여자들의 공민 남자들의 가식 이유 모를 자신감이 불만해 난 보란 듯이 너무나도 뻔뻔히 네 몸속을 파고드는 알러지 이상한 정신에 쓰러지는 천지 오늘 여기 무법지 그래 뭐 시간이 더 해결해주겠지
Now it's time for Happy Entertainment to give them proper promotions in Korea and focus in their live stage abilities, because they are top tier and can join Mamamoo and BTS at the throne if given the chance. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, these are my views on K-pop and y'all don't have to agree with me. Even more, I enjoy discussing about these topics a lot. So if you got an interesting perspective on some of the issues I'm gonna cover here, please share it in the comments with as much detail as possible. I'll try get through your contributions in a second video if this one spreads around. Till the next time.